I laughed when the humans said the dead walked with them. Not out loud at first. I was decorated enough to know when silence looked diplomatic. But in the barracks below Grafen's spire, when Corporal Wren held up the little paper saint taped inside his helmet, I laughed until my throat plates hurt. My name is Varric Soul of the Thalengard. The songs call me the Hammer of Erdis. I was 27 campaigns old, which means young enough to believe medals explain survival. The humans had arrived as auxiliary infantry from Helix Port, small, underarmored, carrying too many charms. Photos, scraps of cloth, children's drawings, tiny figures of winged women and bleeding men. We called them shrine pockets. They heard us. A human engineer named Mara Quill only smiled and said, "Good, then you'll know where to look." I thought she meant after we died. That was not the strangest thing she said. The siege began 3 nights later, when the Ruvani broke the ice gates and poured into Grafen's lower city. We had civilians under the spire, 6 levels down, packed around heat pipes and prayer lights. My orders were clean. Hold the northern stair until evacuation skiffs returned. Clean orders are the easiest kind to fail. By the 2nd hour, smoke had filled the stairwell. By the 3rd, my left eye was sealed with blood and my command net gave only static. I found Mara Quill in a maintenance chapel, not praying. She was writing names on the floor in white marker. Children's names. Beside each name she drew a different symbol: a lantern, a river, a wolf, a woman with open hands. I told her to stop wasting time on ghosts. She looked at me like I had said something very young. "They're not ghosts," she said. "They're doors." Then the ceiling came down. I remember heat. Stone. Someone screaming my rank. I remember waking under a broken beam while human voices moved in the dark, whispering myths like passwords. Lantern means left tunnel. River means crawl. Wolf means stay quiet. Open hands means carry whoever cannot walk. The paper saints in their helmets were not superstition. Not only that, they were memory hooks for panic, little stories strong enough to survive smoke, blood loss, and broken radios. I still did not understand the worst part. A Ruvani breach team entered the civilian level before dawn. We had 32 elders, 9 infants, and a nursery pool of Thalen hatchlings too young to harden their lungs. I reached for my rifle and found it cracked in half. Mara was standing in the open with both hands raised. I thought she was surrendering. That thought shames me more than the lost eye. She began singing. A human song, thin and shaking, about a ferryman carrying children over black water. The civilians stopped crying. Even my hatchlings quieted, though they did not know the words. The Ruvani hesitated because it sounded like a death rite. It was a timing count. On the 7th line, the humans opened the steam valves. On the 8th, we pushed the hatchling pool through the river-marked service drain. On the 9th, Mara took a round through the shoulder and kept singing because the children knew to move only while the song continued. That is the part the songs leave out. They say I rose from the rubble and broke the Ruvani line with a beam of tower steel. I did, eventually. But the city did not survive because I was brave. It survived because frightened humans brought their dead, their stories, their kitchen gods, their paper saints, and used them to make terror organized. After the war, recruits asked me if human myths were true. I told them no. Then I saw Mara Quill in the infirmary garden, trying to button her coat with one arm, humming the ferryman's song to a Thalen hatchling asleep against her side. So I changed my answer. Human myths are not true the way maps are true. They are true the way handles are true. Something to grip when the door is burning and your hands have forgotten how to work. Now, when young soldiers laugh at shrine pockets, I make them stand. I show them my medal, the one they gave me for Grafen's spire. Then I turn it over. On the back, scratched badly because my hands were shaking, are 3 human words Mara taught me after the siege. Lantern means left.